Today we're joined by Johnny Rawls, a legendary soul blues guitarist, singer, and songwriter whose career spans more than 5 decades. From touring with Wright in the 1970s to earning multiple blues music awards and releasing acclaimed albums like Walking Heart Attack and his latest, Make Them Dance, Johnny has kept the blues alive with timeless soul and unstoppable groove. As he brings his music to Boise, we get the chance to hear about his journey, his artistry, and what still drives him to play and connect with audiences worldwide. Johnny, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. And I want to just start off by asking you about your beginnings in Mississippi, some of your earliest memories of music that shaped you into the bluesman that you are today. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, growing up in Mississippi, I was always around great artists all the time. Even as a little boy, you would see James Brown, Jackie Wilson, all the people would come through. Lucky I lived in a location where all the artists would come through. I only lived like an hour or so from New Orleans. So they would stop in Hattiesburg at the legendary Hi-Hat Club to
Mm,
perform on their way to New Orleans. And I do have a Mississippi Trail marker there. I'm on with Tyrone Davis and Little Milton.
mm,
So it's a spot that you had to stop through, the
mm-hmm.
Hi-Hat Club in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, on your way to New Orleans. So I got a chance to see a lot of those people passing through and got a chance to play with a lot of them as I became 16 years old.
Mm. Yeah, so early on then, so really young, getting influenced by, so quote unquote legends in the game had to have been pretty impactful for you. What are those experiences, especially a little bit later on when you got to rub elbows with, legends like Ovi Wright and little Johnny Taylor? How did that experience teach you about life on the road and soul blues performances?
Oh, well, it taught me a lot, traveling with those guys, learning how to how to be well groomed and make sure you have a great show to make sure those guys back then made sure that their dress was impeccable, their hair was fixed, their nails were manicured, their shoes were polished, and they made sure the band was groomed and everything is total opposite now.
Huh.
You can't tell a musician from a hobo, from a person on the street. So
Yeah.
they're actually on stage like that.
Uh-huh.
They're actually on stage like that. But that's the way I came up, and it was a great time. It was a great experience being with little Johnny Taylor, James, Carl, Otis Clay. I had the best life to be with all these great singers and entertainers that made great records. It
Mhm.
was unbelievable. If I die right now, I had the most wonderful life just even being around those artists like that.
I bet.
You
That's
know,
phenomenal. Yeah, that's awesome. Your sound, some would describe, as a kind of a blend between blues and soul. How would you describe your music? How would you describe Johnny Rawls' style?
I always say my music is 1 feet in the past and 1 feet in the future. I
Mm.
grab stuff from back when I first come up.
Uh-huh.
I learned O.V. Wright and all those guys, and I bring it into my own. I get a little from that. A little when you hear my song, you hear a little Johnny Taylor, a little O.V. Wright, a little Otis Clay, a little Willie Hightower, a little Al Green. You can hear the all of it, and
Yeah.
then it's 70% Johnny Rawls, then and 40%, of the people that I
Mm.
come up with.
Yeah. So how do you determine what you mix in a live performance set? Does it change every time, or is it something you stick with from
It
start to
changed.
finish?
It changed. I could sing the same song every night. And I could think about a little Johnny Teller. I could put a little Johnny Teller in there. I could like my song Red Cadillac. I'm sure you heard Red Cadillac
Uh-huh.
before. I
Yeah.
could put a little Bobby Blue Bland, I could put a little Johnny Taylor in there, I could put a little OV Wright in there, you know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
I have memories of flashbacks of that, and I could put a little in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So when you are connecting with audiences, because you have been praised for your live shows being kind of a mixture of intimate and electrifying, what's your approach to connecting with an audience live?
Well, I just try to rock them, man. I don't do no bunch of slow stuff. I like to try to rock them. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I don't believe, I go through a whole show and probably won't do one slow song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I got
Gotcha.
this new record I'm working on that I'm trying on the audience that they really like. I haven't recorded. It's called Mobile, Alabama, about
Mm.
a girl I met in Mobile named Hattie Lee.
Mm.
So I'm working on that now. A slow blues
Okay.
called actually called Mobile, Alabama. It may be called Hattie Lee, you
Mm.
know. But it's
Mhm.
it's working out well. It's working out well.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me of the inspiration maybe that you come across in order to write your songs. Like, where does your inspiration come from when you are penning something new?
It's just, like right now, a while back I had a writer's block, but right now songs are just flowing out of me like by the second,
Really?
you know. They're
Uh,
flowing out of me not by the minute. They're just flowing out every day. They're just flowing out, man.
huh.
The writer's block is gone. They just let the gates are open.
Yeah. What do you
Songs come
attribute that to?
life, life, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I attribute to life and it's life. I'm
Mhm.
feeling good. And I'm a lucky man. Matter of fact, I had to have him call I'm a lucky man, but I'm a lucky man to live the life that I live. Very few people get a chance to do what they really want to do in life because they
Right.
think they go through the process of, going to school, going to college, marry, get the white picket fence, you know what I mean, and then die. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
Uh-huh.
just love going to different countries, different cities, seeing my friends, making new fans. It's the most wonderful life that I
Mm.
could have.
Yeah. And speaking of that, because you travel extensively, right? And so you're constantly on the road. But you seem to enjoy it tremendously from the sounds of it. It doesn't seem like it burns you out or anything like that. You kind of get fueled by it.
Oh no, I get energized, man. You know what I mean? Like
Uh-huh.
I've been coming to Boise, man, 25 or 30 years, and I got everywhere I go, it's like a homecoming.
Yeah.
People be glad to see me, they come, they be glad to see me, I be glad to see them.
Mhm.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Boise, let's jump into that. You're going to be stopping here in Boise September 7th, and you're going to be joined by Jeff Engelbert. Let's talk about that little collaboration if we could, and kind of what's exciting you most about stopping again here in Boise outside of the fact that it's a familiar stomping ground for you.
Well, Jeff and his band, man, they're great. First of all, I enjoy playing with them, and they know all my material from my new songs to my old songs, and they're great artists, great band themselves. And
Mhm.
so I just love seeing all my old friends and fans there in Boys.
Yeah. Yeah. What's one of the things that fans could expect from coming and seeing you on that date if they've never witnessed Johnny Rawls before? Let's say maybe they've listened to Red Cadillac and that's about the totality of their experience with you. What would they expect to hear?
They're gonna leave with a smile on their face. They're
Yeah.
gonna dance a hole in their shoes.
Mhm.
Their soul gonna be rejuvenated. They're gonna go like, wow. I I enjoyed this so much. That's what they gonna say. So we
Yeah.
gonna shut so
Nice. I
yeah.
believe it. Yeah, I believe it. I want to rewind it back for just a second and talk about, two albums specifically that you've released. 2023, Walking Heart Attack, 2025, Make Them Dance. We can assume by the titles, maybe they are meant to reflect something particularly about you today. Both of those seem to be almost diametrically opposed titles to each other. But what was the overarching aim behind naming those two albums? What you named them?
Well, I wrote those albums with Bob Trenchard. He used to give the titles, and I do the writing, you know. Walking Heart Attack was supposed to be about a lady that's so gorgeous, so beautiful, to when she
Mm.
passed by, you would almost have a heart attack, like a walking heart attack. She is so fine and so beautiful, like the ladies there in Boise, Idaho. You know, the ladies in Boise, all of them are a walking heart attack. You know what I'm saying? When they pass by me, I just grab my chest and go, "Oh my God, I'm so glad to be in Boise." You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate that, Johnny. The fact that, you've won like multiple music awards for your blues, honored on the Mississippi Blues Trail. What do some of these recognitions mean to you as far as like a legacy that you're building and going to leave behind?
Well, the most important award to me is not the soul album of the year, the blues album of the year. The most award that I love and that mean the most to me is the Mississippi Trail marker, the historical markers with my picture on there. Those would be there. A hit record ago, you win a Grammy, you win a blues award 5 minutes after people don't even know who did it. But
Mm-hmm.
those historical markers will be there for a lifetime for people to see,
Yeah,
to see
that's
your
awesome.
accomplishments in life. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so that's my most treasured award is the Mississippi Trail markers, and I'm on 3 of them. I'm on
Mm.
one in Rockland, Maine with BB King also,
Wow.
and one in Greenwood, but my most prized one is in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. So if y'all ever there, go check it out. I'm on
Yeah.
there with my 2 legends. I'm so proud of that. I idolized Tyrone Davis and Little Milton coming up, and now I'm on a historical marker with them myself. So that's
Mm.
my most prized possession right there.
Yeah, that's a huge milestone for sure. If you could give some advice to a young musician that's listening to this or coming up in 2025, what would that be? After all these decades, I know you've accumulated a ton, so it's kind of a loaded question, but what kind of advice would you give an aspiring musician that's coming up in this day?
Don't try it. Don't try it, man. But this is what I'm gonna tell them, and I hope they listen really good. It's not what you think it is. If you're gonna do this, you got to dedicate your whole life to this. I've
Mm,
been doing this 57 years, man. You know what I mean? I started out traveling. You got to travel, travel, travel. The young people think, well, if I get an agent, if I get a record company, and then they get behind me, I'll be this big star. It don't work like that.
mm,
You got to hit, it ain't but one way, and that's the highway. You got to
mm,
hit the road. You got to put out records. You got to go make fans all over the world. And no one's going to help you do that but you.
right. Mm,
So when you go to spend all your time looking for an agent, looking for a record label, looking for a publicist, and all that, they don't want you. They
mm,
want somebody already out there that they can make money off of that's popular.
mm,
They're just like Hootie and the Blowfish, right?
right.
They got their when they got their record deal, they had they had already they were already a successful college band.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's what they want. Someone that's already successful.
Mm,
You know, but if you want to do it, you got to give up everything. You know what I
mm,
mean? You got to give up everything to do it.
yeah.
That's my advice to you.
That's
If
awesome.
you do, you got to do it.
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
insightful because I think that goes beyond music even, right? That's life in general. Like if you want it, you got to give up everything for it sometimes and just chase after it. So I appreciate you sharing that, Johnny. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you live in Boise, Idaho, September 7th over at the Egyptian Theater. Looking forward to that. And Johnny, it's been a pleasure having you on deck with me here. Thank you for joining me.
I hope to see you at the show, man.
Yeah, you will. Thank you,
All right,
Johnny.
thank you, bud. Bye
You
bye.
got it.